Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our May 2020 customer webinar. I'm Aaron Gillette, Marketing Director at TownNews. Today, Rick Rogers, Chief Revenue Officer at TownNews, and Richard Green, CEO of Evvnt, will give an overview of the new event calendar integration that we'll be rolling out over the coming months. Evvnt replaces traditional event calendars with a platform that's laser focused on generating new advertising revenue for publishers from ticketing, syndication, print, voice, social, and email marketing services, while helping customers find high-quality local events. Though most events are on pause due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the TownNews Event Calendar Partnership will provide you with the best tools to showcase and drive revenue with your calendar listings when the crisis passes. The presentation will take about 30 minutes and will be followed by a Q&A. Please type any questions into the chat box and we'll answer them at the end. We're recording this webinar and we'll share the link with everyone when it's available on our website. Take it away, Rick.
Aaron, thank you so much. And again, this is Rick Rogers, CRO with TownNews. And before we get started, I'd just like to say I hope everybody is staying safe and staying well during this time. I'll share with you that we at TownNews have been amazed at the journalism and the service that your organizations are giving to your communities during this unprecedented time. Not sure if you're aware, but since March 1st, our websites hosted by TownNews, your websites, have generated more than 1.9 billion page views delivered to your audiences, which is a over 70% increase over the same time period last year. There is no question that local news is more important than ever before, and we applaud everybody within the TownNews network and all of our partners on the work that you have been doing since the pandemic has taken hold. But with that said, we do also know that life will return to normal, and part of life is going to events and going to community parades and school events and athletic events. And that's why we're really excited to talk about our partnership and our decision to migrate our calendars on Block's websites and Rayos websites to the event calendar system. And so our agenda today is quite simple. We're going to introduce you to the event calendar service, and also to Evvnt CEO Richard Green, and Richard is on the call with me as well. And he's going to walk you through all the various features and functionalities of the event calendar platform and why this is going to be a major upgrade for your websites. We're going to talk a little bit about the migration timeframe and the process. We're going to, more importantly, share with you some great ideas to generate new revenue with the event calendar system and how this can be a sales tool for your organization. And also just give you an overall view of the tools and functionality that this event platform is going to bring to your markets. One just real quick note, complete details concerning the transition process will be covered by the TownNews and event implementation teams at a later date. Today's goal for the call is really to give you an overview of what Evvnt is and how it's going to be a great tool for your operations going forward. You know, if you've been to any conferences recently, if you've been monitoring the local media space over the past couple of years, you probably have either seen the Evvnt team or learned of what Evvnt is doing. They have quickly become the go-to service for calendars and event marketing. And that is a kudos to Richard Green and his team at Evvnt. They have put together a dynamic platform and are doing a great service to their local media partners that they already work with today. And they work with hundreds of local media partners in the local media space. And that's why when we looked at what partners we could use for this service, Evvnt made the most sense. So in February, TownNews and Evvnt announced a partnership that will allow our 2,000 local media partners that use our content management services to have access to the event calendar at no setup cost. And there's also no monthly fee. We'll talk about fees and how that's structured and revenue shares later, but I think that's really important, is that this transition comes at no setup cost to you. We're providing this tool to you as an upgrade, and we hope that you're going to see this as a major opportunity to build new revenue in the event space. And have all the tools and the services and the expertise of the event team to lead you along the way. We're excited about that. So why Evvnt and why now? So for the past 18 months, TownNews has taken a look at our current legacy Blocks calendar product. And in talking with our partners and getting feedback, it became quite clear that there were three things that needed to be enhanced within our calendar program. And that was automated event listings, ticketing platform integration, and then also a CRM solution for local sales. So you can go back and market to those event organizers and get them to buy, packs of ad impressions on your website or buy a quarter page ad in your print product. And those were three things that our Blocks calendar service as of today did not offer. So what we wanted to do, and instead of maybe possibly doing some things internally with TownNews, we thought, why not just partner with a service that is doing all of those things today? And that service is Evvnt. And this way we can provide these upgrades immediately to you. Now, Aaron talked a little bit about, obviously, the event space and the in-person events are on pause right now. There are virtual events going on. So you might be wondering, why now? Well, we actually look at this time as the best time to do this transition. While events are on pause, I would imagine most of the calendars within the block system are a little low on inventory, and that makes this the perfect time to make the transition, and we can do this, we think, quicker, more seamlessly. And then when in-person events ramp up again, when we start to open up our communities, you'll have this tool available to you right away to be able to monetize those listings in a better way, market back to those event organizers, but then also give your readers a very nice presentation on your website to be able to see what's going on in their community. So how will the transition work? We'll start actually beginning the transitions on Monday, May 18th. We actually have a group of sites that's starting the transitions here this week, starting today. When it is your turn in the queue, you will be contacted by a TownNews and Evvnt team member that will walk you through the transition process. Our goal is to complete these transitions by late summer, early fall of 2020. Just FYI, there's no cost, again, involved in the transition. The setup is free. There is a revenue opportunity. I think this is very important. Again, the no cost opportunity is the publisher will receive 20% of the listing revenue up to the other 80% hits the $249 per month, because typically there is a monthly fee for the event service of $249. So to explain this maybe a little simpler, if you were to sell about $310 in event revenue, you would be at that 20% clip for your publication. If you go over that threshold and cover that $249 a month, say on day 16, then your revenue share increases to 40%. Every 30 days, it throttles back down to 20. You go to 20, say on day 14, you reach that $249 threshold, the 80% hits $249, then you go to 40%. That's the free model. If desired, publishers can purchase a monthly service through Evvnt. That's the $249 model, and you can go directly to the 40% rev share. And just to be clear too, the services are the same. So no fee, 20% rev share. You can see all the check boxes, the products. You don't get less product. You don't get less services. It's the same system. It's just how the revenue share is structured. Again, we wanted to bring this to you where there wasn't an upfront cost if that's what you desired. 20% rev share up until the $249 is covered with the 80% in a 30-day period. And then you move to the 40% model if you hit that before that 30 days is up. Or you can purchase the $249 upfront, you go directly to the 40% share. So you'll have those two options available to you as we work through the transition process. But no, again, the products and the services you'll be receiving will be the same, along with the support of the Evvnt team. So we are really excited about this. We think this is a huge upgrade in the calendar service for our Blocks and Rails partners. And more importantly, we're excited to be working with Richard Green and the Evvnt team. Again, they've put together a dynamic product that we think, with the power of TownNews and Evvnt, is going to be a huge upgrade for our website partners. So to learn more about Evvnt, I want to bring in Richard Green. the CEO of Evvnt, to talk about all the great features that he's going to bring to your markets. Richard, take it away.
Thank you very much, Rick, and thank you for everyone joining to talk about the Evvnt calendar proposition. I think what I really wanted to start with is around that pandemic and timeline. The event calendar that's currently within the TownNews proposition, I think ultimately Evvnt has been focused on the problem of event discovery and the commercialization of an event service for over 8 years. And we continue to focus on a single problem, which is why I think TownNews selected us as a service that was going to improve the event calendar business within the TownNews platform. In terms of the reason why we're pushing right now, exactly as Rick mentioned, this is a great time to do it. We can replace calendars that are inactive in terms of in-person events. However, there is actually a lot of momentum, I think, in the market around when the lockdown ends and when we can promote events to attract consumers. Getting calendars live now means we have a window of time to get the tech into place, start to get the SEO indexing for these new calendars, which is important. We can really train the teams on how to use the editor CMS, the sales CRM, and you guys can get an internal understanding of the business. Just this last week, we were working with Ben Bulletin, and we had 16 people on the call running 1-hour training sessions and 4 in total this week, and really bringing the team up to speed in terms of the platform and the power of the platform. So think about it like that you have this time to understand services, get used to data, speak and communicate with your market with regards to the new service, but also, access those virtual events and also get ready to promote in-person events as we start to get back to normality. Heading to the deck, just to keep on sort of formal view here, we've got an introduction. In terms of Evvnt, we're a market-ready, scalable technology. The focus of our technology is really around the revenue generation. We want this product to make a difference to your P&L. And for that to happen, we've got to have not only a great events calendar, but we also need to have a great product. And I think that's what we've achieved today over the last year and a half in the US in terms of talking to companies like Gannett Gatehouse and even smaller markets that we focused on revenue generation. We've built multi-channel event marketing services from syndication to featured, premium map pins to email. We've got a really cool event discovery that works on desktop, tablet, and mobile. 60% of your audience is probably on a mobile device. That's important. We have this content distribution product. As you know, Evvnt's core product today is getting an event beyond your calendar to many calendars, which is really an important thing to achieve if you want an event locally to be found, because it's quite hard to find local events, but syndication and that distribution engine really fixes the problem of effectively marketing an event. When we implement the calendars and the content widgets around your site, which actually comes as a service from the TownNews team, the implementation is so important and time consuming. That's what TownNews are going to do for you and your site. It creates an ad network for local events, surfacing amazing local events, but also giving that entry point for event submissions and that funnel to purchase. People that submit events, local venues, event promoters that submit events through your calendars convert at around 3 to 11%. They'll usually spend around $2,800 over the course of 12 months, which is a really great figure on a per venue, per promoter level. And you can expect an 86% retention on premium services once they progress into it. So having that calendar up and having the content widgets around your site just enable people to be aware of the service, make it easier to submit events that turn into content, revenue, and leads for the sales team. Lastly, if you are a bit more of an advanced user, we worked with Lee Enterprise today and they asked for API access of their own data to put their data in their CRM. They also asked for an RSS feed because they wanted to plug their events data into social and email projects. So there is some developer tools if you want more of an advanced view. On to the next. So I just want to talk a little bit about why we've taken on this big challenge, because if you look at the companies in the US to date, they've predominantly built a $16 million industry, which isn't a huge amount of money if you think about the size of events. And they basically charge you for services where you make no money. And that just doesn't feel right. That's just not a good business model. So when we looked at the size of the problem, and if you compare the number on the screen to a big company, Eventbrite in their investor earnings announcement for last year reported 3.9 million ticketed events went through their platform. That's 6% of the market in the US. 65 million events are actually created. They're submitted by media channels like yours, and they fail to generate any significant digital revenues. And they also fail to be marketed effectively just due to the lack of product and distribution of that content. On to the next. In terms of a solution to that, we've basically put a workflow in place that allows someone to submit an event. We connect the event marketer through news and media publishers and the network of news media publishers to enable an event creator to reach customers, lots of customers, quickly. And if you look at the picture on the screen, we not only do the marketing execution for you, we also are fully integrated into Eventbrite and Geotix as a white label ticketing. And not only can we take marketing dollars for advertising, but we also track consumer activity back to ticket sales and revenue. That report you're looking at there is for a running event in Seattle. The gentleman in question paid $80 to promote his event. He had over 126 tickets sold and $2,000 in revenue from ticketing. So his $80 was a very smart spend. So that's a little bit about the solution. On to the next. In terms of the market size, so we originally came in early last year, focused on what was a $2.1 billion market. We since have integrated fully with Geotix for white label ticketing, which means today the market size in the US, if there's anybody on the call that's looking at their P&L for ad revenue or even profitability around selling into the events industry, most companies I speak with are making not a significant number, like not even $1 in some instances. When I speak to Gannett, the big guys in the room, they tell me that event content and events is the third most important data point to a consumer. And the industry size, if you were to sell advertising and ticketing digitally, not even in physical print that could be an upsell, it's an 18.2 billion opportunity. So the reason why Evvnt and TownNews are coming together is because we believe that that money that's being spent today with Facebook advertising and Eventbrite, who has 6% of the market, if we come together as an industry to present local events, premiums that syndicate through our network to deliver high margin services, we together could go after an 18.2 billion revenue line, which kind of shows you how insignificant that 16 million industry is right now in terms of companies like CitySpark and Spingo who are licensing new technology that doesn't really do this. We together, TownNews, Evvnt, and you as a publisher are going to be able to present products and services, ticketing through white label, and actually access an $18.2 billion market, which is incredibly exciting. On to the next. I just want to give you some examples. If you want, I think what should happen is if you want to see examples of real TownNews customers like Bakersfield, California, or Ben Bulletin are live today, please feel free to have a look. But I just want to show you, there is an events calendar that you will see on your site. The events calendar comes with the usual stuff around featured placement, listings, maps, and you're looking at there a event calendar, but also a details page. They're the primary consumer touch points. Going on to the next, if you click on the promote your event button, you arrive at an add event form. We don't call it an add event or a submission form because that feels like data processing. We call it a promote your event workflow or a promote your event form because it feels like that's the intent of the action. And you'll see we have two forms. One is a quick form and one is an advanced form. Moving on to the next. In terms of what's behind that form, from a single submission in one of our premium users of our platform, which includes print, you can create an event listing. We can ticket it on that workflow. We can get you listed on a website, featured on the category and on the homepage. There's social reposting into that user's channel, which can be reposted by editors and consumers. We have a full integration with Site Impact for email. We provide print-ready pages that can include the paid ads that they bought online physically in that paid print page the week of the event. And we've also got integrations happening along voice with radio companies and also with TV organizations. And there's more to come. We're also looking at other services like SMS and other online digital marketing offerings that make that bundle work. But as I say, in New York today at the Metro US, submit, be listed, featured, premium map pin, syndicated, and you'll be in the paper the week of the event, and that might cost you $80 or $100 per event. A really strong, automated, self-service transactional service that's converting today at between 3 and 11% online. On to the next. In terms of those premium services, we're just working at the moment with USA Today to rebuild the sales page. But this is an example of what it would look like. So when someone comes to submit an event, we portfolio that bundle and we make sure we make it affordable. This is an example of the listing, that featured event slot, that premium pin that's enlarged, that placement in the print paper, the email, the SMS that's coming, the social that's there, the ticketing, which could be your link as an organizer or with your Eventbrite link, or even could be our link that we created through Geotix. Promotion doesn't last a day or a few days because the event needs more than just a little bit of advertising. It needs a power punch. So we run our advertising from today, the submission, through to the physical day of the event. And then in terms of the syndication network, today we have over 4,500 event listing sites in our network. An average event submission coming in, we can get to anywhere from 30 to, if you look at Boston, nearly 145 event listing sites in a click as a service. The reason why that syndication is important is if you go and put an event through our platform, through your calendar, and the event is syndicated and published on 40, 60, 100 listing pages as a paid service, 90% of that content never leaves your site. So from an SEO perspective, awesome. But the people that do upgrade and want the syndication, we create lots and lots and lots of pages on credible branded sites that index into Google. By being indexed into Google, an average local event using our premium service will get somewhere between 30 and 70% of the first page of Google for the content locally, and pages 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's powerful. You know, people that are looking for events, 80 to 90% of people go to Google, look, and then they end up on listing sites. So this is a really cool way of allowing premium to deliver value, but it also means that this content will deliver traffic back to your site. On to the next. I just wanted to point out that ticketing relationship. There's only 2 companies I think are really cool in the space on ticketing white label. That's TicketSource, who we're talking to at the moment on integration, but we are already integrated into Geotix. So right now, we automatically sell ticketing to your event creators if they want it. We also turn those event submissions into highly qualified leads. And if we know the capacity of an event and the ticket price of an event, we also know the value of the event or the value of the venue if there's lots of events on ticketing. So now you don't have to sell ticketing into the local market. You simply have to sell advertising to someone that's already on ticketing. That sounds simple, sounds smart. However, if you do want to upgrade, like Adams has in Boise Weekly, to selling ticketing through your organization, Geotix does have an enterprise level service to allow you to sell ticketing to your local theater, your local comedy club, and to try and migrate them from other services. Why would they? Well, most ticketing companies in the market are selling ticketing, and then it's their responsibility to go and promote the ticketed pages. Not now. you as a publisher can provide ticketing services to your local venues, including check-in and scanners at the door using mobile devices, just app-based tech. What's beautiful about it is you can sell them ticketing and you can sell them advertising that's going to basically come together to be more affordable, more effective than just ticketing alone. So we have this ticketing solution that's automated, self-service, but if you want to, or if you get excited about the companies and the local venues that are using ticketing, you can upgrade to direct-to-market activities, selling ticketing and advertising and print and programmatic, whatever else is in your toolkit when you go to market. On to the next. I just want to show you this screen because people always, whenever I do the demo, they're like, does it work? We've been told this story for 3 decades. So I start with this. This is my inbox. I'm fanatical about making revenue for you. What you're looking at here, if you see the event name at the left, it means it was sold self-service. Down the bottom, you'll see a few partners. It means they picked up the phone and they called a lead and they sold. 60% conversion if you ring a lead within 24 hours. That's what we're seeing. The amount of money, that's a per event transaction. Most people have more than 1 event a week, 1 event a month, and they definitely have more than 1 event a year. So you can see how we get to the 2,800 over 12 months. Next, you'll see the kind of newspapers and print companies that are actually selling. These are not all big metros. And this list that I'm showing you, if you look on the right-hand side past the ownership, it's the people that bought it. And this is actually a snippet of just church organizations who submitted and bought advertising self-service. And we've seen some church organizations spending up to $250 to $800 to promote 1 event using email. So this is church self-service, but within our product portfolio, you can buy a single for 1 event. You can buy a bundle of singles if you're doing more than 1 in the month. You can jump onto a subscription plan if you are running events every month, comedy, theatre. And there's also more products inside the service beyond the bundle, which include things like email and print. So there's the bundle in different ways, but there's also a breakout of that bundle, making it really interesting and dynamic in terms of how and where you spend money as an event creator. On to the next. This is the new sales page that we're working on right now with USA Today. I just want to show you this. This is the first thing a customer touches when they try to create an event. It's a 5-point sales strategy that they'll go through. And I think the most important thing is every customer can submit unlimited events for free. We put them into the sales CRM, which is a really cool place to put it. But if you look to the left, you've got your single transaction, your subscription transaction. You discount based on bundle and you discount based on subscription, making it even more affordable for people that want to invest more time and effort. We do have a snap sell, that's it. There's a checkout. There's also a report upsell. Moving on to the tools for you. If you go inside the platform, once we get you set up, there's an editor CMS. Very simply shows you the features of the service. So you've got things like data supply from Eventbrite, Active, Ticketmaster, where you have a full management suite there. Moving on to the next slide. The sales CRM. Sales CRM is basically where we send all of the leads, the events that come in. And what you're looking at here is every event coming in has a source. So you're seeing the site the lead came from. The bit that's blanked out just for privacy is the name, the email, and telephone. If you look to the right-hand side, I can tell you how many events were submitted by that user, how many are live, what the capacity is of the live, what the price is of the live, and we multiply the capacity and price to get the value. They, on that screen, they're phenomenal leads. And you'll notice the little ticket icon tells you that it's a ticketed event. That's the full demo of services. If you have any questions about anything on those slides, feel free to reach out through TownNews. We're more than happy to jump on a personal one-to-one demo.
Thank you, Richard, and thanks, Rick. Just to wrap up, again, thank you to both Richard and Rick for the great introduction to Evvnt. There are quite a few ways to stay connected with TownNews. Our documentation is available at help.blockcms.com. You can reach our support team at 800-293-9576 or support.townnews.com. Our partner community is a great place to swap ideas with other customers, and that's available at community.townnews.com. And you can check out our service status, monitor our service status at townnews.status.io. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And we offer a variety of different email communications that you can sign up for by visiting townnews.com and clicking the news button. And you will, if you scroll down the page, you'll see all of the emails that you can sign up for. That is all for our May customer webinar. Thank you so much for attending, and we will talk to you again next month.
Thank you all. Stay safe.